right, and Kumasi Asante Kotoko and Accelerate at the match as share so our Papa Jara Sports Stadium. And at the end of 90 minutes, Kropia Kumasi Asante Kotoko Abon Homodin at me Accelerate by a year 2-0 at the qualify to the next stage of the competition, the run of a year 16. And Asante Kotoko team qualify after saying Baba Sports to the Accelerate a show by 2-0. Well, welcome to a year porcupine stand, and we are going to have a discussion on a year the key issues I see in the match. I mean, it was a match. There were a lot of talking point. I have been able to diagnose a channel way so. Na wow share ball ni bi no ye wonyo ma bi esi ye fa wani so na ya twen adwen e de esi so ene ye wonyo ma bi so a chese e fa wani so kakra esi ye but me sure say also person kan wasem na ye nyina ya boa abobo ho wa nra ene ena no pay mu am follow SOTV football I know one of Selbet channels no you realize that yeah the possible 11 no plus and Rasono also on Porcupine Stand channel ways, so no, yeah, the possible 11 also April. Now, just like what is on the screen, the only change APM was goalkeeper Mohamed Kamara. Apart from that, players do now you can't say Wamunya best start game the Sapepe and a Kaya. We will be so follow channel ways so you realize that players here they too just say Bibintino. They cannot make the team exactly what happened. Into Frederick Kasare, the catcher himself for one reason or the other, Frederick Kasare will not be present. March, that is exactly what happened. Frederick Kasare, who game the catcher himself Fernando, Winston Bassi Epra, on Katim Sapepe and a Corso, Albert Amwa and Kahon, the catcher himself Peter Aqua, Eso and Kahon. Yet the two manim say a branch of any manual court also picky injury during training into court so by missing game and that is exactly what happened. Line up the catcher was a Virtus Avoca a bit me and your team no ama an Justice Blay beko bench Samba uno beko bench in team menu ebeko bench and Sape Pepe Babaya also beko bench into Sape Pepe and a course will hold somewhat thing do Ebe started at the Asante Kotoko, and we are going to discuss what happened during the 90 minutes. Well, it was a very, very physical game, and of course, when Baba Sports, that's the first thing you need to keep notice or pay attention to. The game was extremely physical. Accelerate Ebemu with intention, whether they can cause an upset against Asante Kotoko. That was their plan. And Ucheki game now, you can count the number of yellow cards. A referee issue game ebi ko ama Asante Kotoko. Na ebi so ko ama Accelerate. Tackles were flying in left, right, center because it was a match. Both teams were extremely determined to make sure that they will leave the venue with all the three maximum qualification to the next stage. Into a physical game and tackles not flying, but one way or the other, the referee tried his best to stamp his authority on the game by issuing a yellow card. When I just saw the yellow card, never to rough beyond try yellow, rough beyond try yellow to some extent to reduce the number of tackles na game, and that to be the first major observation. Well, the second one was that qualification was a must. Nessa Asante Kotoko etimi qualify to the next stage by all means. And Asapepe no so so Kotoko ebon home what you call the qualification. Game pass Asante Kotoko ebetimi qualify to the next stage of the competition. So we are all hoping that the team will qualify, and indeed the team did their best to qualify to the next stage of the competition. Go from Kwame Poku and also goal from Henry Ansu. So the qualification, the must, and Kotoko granted it to their fans. The third thing, we're going to talk about Kwame Poku, our young commonum, Kwame Poku, Ebeba Nkomodienum. Yes, Dauda Saka, we need penalty at the Asante Kotoko. And this was the penalty. Ebra Dauda, a goalkeeper no, a goalkeeper no, then Hokano, Bono, a from, and a penalty was awarded to Asante Kotoko. Nache say, good news. This was in the first half. And Kwame Poku, ekujina a ball penalty no, at the twatinem. And what that means is that our in Shishenum no, Ubenya Kwame Poku in the 3 matches wabo for Asante Kotoko no, Kwame Poku ashe 3 goals at the Asante Kotoko. But there's another side of the conversation. I mean, for a player, at the baku enim edifa January transfer only say, a player na January transfer no bar. Yeah, share him so be my club no. They are friend now. At the end of an instant impact. Yes, all by now. Ma ubia ehu a hokeka e team na yedo wa be shim no. And 3 matches. Na player shed 3 goals. It shows that Wama Kotoko instant impact. Kotoko against Midiama, he scored the only goal. And Kotoko near Acceler8z, he scored the only goal. Kotoko Goal Stars, which was his first match, he scored 1 goal out of the 2. Into which check here, the last 3 matches, Asante Kotoko, Ashe Adia friend 4 goals, and Kwame Poku Ashe 3. So in terms of percentages, that is 75% of Kotoko goals scored since Kwame Poku joining Asante Kotoko. It has been scored by Kwame Poku. And from that angle, it clearly shows you that this is a player with Asante Kotoko instant impact. Yes, we talk about the negatives. We talk about the positives also. And the obvious positive is that Atia Bakwane has Asante Kotoko, which was the attack. And now we're all talking about it every day. In the absence of Albert Tamwa, why the best step up? I get the job done for Asante Kotoko. Kwame Poku comes in and he solved that issue for Asante Kotoko. But whilst here Bonabasono, there are some movement that Kwame Poku need to uplift his game. For instance, this was a chance in the game. Easier to score than to miss. So what you say? So check it, this boy I pause here. Yes, Obi free Kwame Poku achiba, but we are talking about a player or a specialist in the penalty box. He's one that you trust a lot. So on your chance in the penalty box, he will put it at the back of your net. Now, one key element of a top striker is your decision making, how you execute the decision, and how you make sure that your picture will turn the bit into reality. This was a move from Asante Kotoko. Dauda Saka, excellent movement by Babaya after so free bench by. He moves, he lead the defender with experience. And unfortunately, ball now better Babaya left foot so all he did was he played the ball to Kwame Poku. Into Babaya had the right connection and had the right execution. So at this moment, the pole is open. And it's quite surprising, say, what really happened? Because I've been watching the video. And I'm still wondering, say, then Kwame Poku ate me lose the balance because the moment the ball was played for Kwame Poku, player no di Kwame Poku no and fan and I and take Kwame Poku no akasi we channel. And until Kwame Poku losing the balance. And he had time. Say baby o free bo free chain eba. So he calculated his movement and he moved to space. So all he did was just take your time. Ahana said wrong calculation by with this nine and put the ball at the back of your net. The position of the ball was excellent because who said the goalkeeper moved to the other side. Timame found 2 goalkeeper and no pair. But this is a ball you need to put it at the back of your net to help Asante Kotoko get the maximum points. When you miss this chance, imagine if this was the only chance of the game. What would the conversation be? This is a ball you hit the target. Na say you na keeper ni mom na save ball na ya keeper na baso. But this is what we call a yawning net And if you are not able to hit the target, it is not the best of decisions from Kwame Poku. Inti mini pa ba akona mebo na baso. Ewo kwan a wafa so about 3 matches. No wa 3 goals ama Asante Kotoko ye the goals eni a. That is 75% of Kotoko goals scored since Kwame Poku started so Obama Kotoko no. With this particular opportunity, he could have done better. And on that score, I think Kwame Poku said Otimi Peja how he missed chances and how he has been scoring for Asante Kotoko. This was a glorious opportunity and I saw the ball and called it to them. So yes, the third observation is Kwame is still doing well, but more room for improvement. I mean, very soon, Yenim said Samson Eduku Beba. Eduku has been signed by Kotoko. The Akoyeni said, when me pick it, we are still following that. Whether it me a ball against a Vision FC or not. But once again, when you look at some of these movements, you one or the other understand the technical team why they want a lot of attackers to have options. Asante Kotoko and Shishim. This was a Samson Eduku. Not tensible whilst the game was ongoing. And Kwame Poku should know that 3 matches, 3 goals, but the quality of chances Kotoko created in recent times, he can't afford to be missing it. Now let's move on to other observations. Honestly speaking, Kotoko ain't the best of attendance. So here short here that screen is what it tells you one thing. Nipa na ewo stadium ono na ewo fompa. I mean, you look at most of the pictures. Ball na here, Utimu se chita foni bebranko. Yes. Obeka se a FA Cup game. Kumasi Asante Kotoko an FA Cup game there. No kwani amenim se sikasem ne chenepe. But one advantage of being a big club, Kotoko Kotakwa, itimi ko peki a draw. Kotoko ashe has, Kotoko ashe Diana, washe Gold Stars, washe Dreams FC in their last 5 matches. I think in terms of morale, in terms of showing love to the Asante Kotoko team, in terms of total performance of the Asante Kotoko team, it is up to standard to the extent that the number of supporters at Stadium should see an increase instead of a decrease as compared to the attendance now. But let's talk about players now or more any starters for Asante Kotoko. Opportunity to start this particular game. Okum did well. He gave young players and young boys an opportunity. And then Solomon Kwekusa ebe free bench ababe Bobby. Avoka ababe Bobby. Then Ubenya Jordan Emisa so ababe Bobby. These are all players they are not starters. Omunye regulars. Ewa Asante Kotoko tumedi. And Tine Dubebo, Henry Ansu Bebo, Michael Chejamna Bebo. Now say Kwai Manuel entry started, but entry didn't how influential he is. Inti menu. So Chejamna, Tine Du, then your branch and Henry Ansu are not regular starters together with Avoka. Now the Emisa and the Sakanwa. It means Ogum. He decided he took a bold decision, a bold step to give the young boys an opportunity in today's game. Ogum take decision said there be, and then mama mranti no so kwine. No mumbe ball ni bi mame. Now in terms of Henry Ansu, we will say he was awarded in today's game. At least Kotoko keep a clean sheet. And whilst talking about players are coach more chance, I even forgot about Fatau Sedu. I and coach Ogum man a chance. So Ogum ebeja about because we're taking advantage of this game to give other players an opportunity to create competition and see what these players can do if the main players are injured. Now, Fatau Sedu, we keep a clean sheet. You remember player ratings near Kanwasem. But I think Henry Ansu grabbed the opportunity, experience, and no use here. This goal is a classic goal from Henry Ansu. Opio share Kotoko preseason. Ebra Ansu, every breakum Chelsea by he had the confidence to take free kicks. Into my captain said the power na Alex. Defender, Brazilian defender, been no Chelsea. Not the bony free kick, And why been an ounce to the Bobby. But now he's not starting. But clearly in today's game, check here. Lord Amwa no what Chelsea. Patrick Essiedu no what Chelsea. And an ounce any players are no mujina born. So that understanding was there. And to share at this moment, Lord Amo abekonechi, no ne eye ansu any esi edu akwa kudin komo. Before Lord will come back, no have set bono, Eddie Ama Henry ansu. Into this was it. When eye Chelsea boys, no, Emne Kwame Poku, to whom Lord, whom Patrick, no ansu, and a Kwame Poku a free hokakra, and a Lord eko piatu oma ansu ball low shot, Emma ball no them. So this is a well-grabbed opportunity. So you play out the bench, not chance na basi no grab it. Yabebo Henry ansu abaso. Then you talk about Michael Che Jamana. He had an excellent game. I mean, when Timian control midfield, he had an okay game when Timian control midfield, you know, but he was also not disappointing. And I will come and talk about how Acceler8z the talk. They did a lot of talking, but to a large extent, they walked the talker. In some of kind of which but Che Jamana was okay. Tinedu was also okay. At least a starting game tackles nibi called Tinedu so. Say as at a point you were thinking say be a game no crano. Untimi air then embon wie ewo ho but utimi ball bebre and his tackles, his energy, how he chased the ball no or yes adwuma nyina edema Asante Kotoko, which gives him an okay performance. Emi Sabeda wing so hold on to the ball me twitwa na Emma Kotoko winning free kicks kakra ho which was also okay and ebobo. So all in all, the players are coach Ogum decided say Obama on an opportunity for them to play for Asante Kotoko. To some extent, these players did not disappoint at grab the opportunity. Obianwa and Sunabekas was stealing the show, but all of them were okay enough for say when they are being called from the bench to come and play, they can also do the job. But yeah, we're still going to talk about the free kick. Yeah, cut the personality, but let's talk about the routine leading to the free kick. This season, Patrick Asiedu has a free kick against Aduana Stars. And a Henry Ansu Swashebi. Eddie Tia Acceler8z. The average Kotoko game, Ebema close to 5 corners for Asante Kotoko. A free kick around the penalty box at the end of Ukraine Bakope. Kotoko Nyabipa. So I'm happy that Bibia said players knowing themselves. Players need more because this is something that Lord Amwa played to suit the strength of Henry Ansu and Kotoko team execute. This good. This is solid. Yembo team now, but we want to see Kotoko scoring more free kicks. Makan was them say so Bibe Chow. Now I prevent you from going to score. Now at the end of the day, or no prevent you from going to score. But our chance now we know which was the free kick, no. Who went to me and for chance na nyeshe. So at the end of the day, Obos was stop okwa. Now a chance na say free kick now went to me and say no gaining an advantage over you. But so bibe chow around the penalty box. Obibe din semunu around the penalty box. Na say wo benya free kick. Now be bar to atenemua. Na say you've taken advantage of the first chance awunya ya. Nipanama went to me and kwase chance no. You've taken advantage of the second opportunity or the second chance which is the free kick to really punish the person for in the first error or committee and that is the importance of free kick. So what you say? Me kwase we twame. Na me fa bo na me boto twene dia say na twa na otwa no. Si ama o card dia amfa so abaso. So you punish people when they commit these offense. And I'm happy Kotoko timinya the opportunity etimi pamo punish Acceler8z after that incident. Well, in terms of officiating and other news, the controversy will still continue because images now started I'm first started at the image the referee in terms of this particular decision is going to be controversial because I'm first say outside the line. In this case, then it should have been a red card. If Senka referee give free kicker, then he should have awarded a red card because he stopped an obvious goal scoring opportunity. Obeka say, ball no name penalty box, but we are talking about a striker. Keeper and fan one cannot sign keeper when you're an empty net. So if the keeper stop the striker, stop the rounds of the striker, then clearly or at as an obstacle over the rounds of the striker, Now assign a last manner. A referee can give you a red card. So in this case, what we say when they outside the line, and your line is so pepe. But referee need a penalty to keep a red card. Because of an ball no AC our line and AC on the line or it happened in the box. That is where the conversation is coming from. And looking at the angle, say it happened outside the line. Look at one for instance. You say we see. Say it happened outside the line. But the conversation is then it should have been a red card to the goalkeeper for stopping an obvious goal scoring opportunity or her. So the referee had his own thing. What I say? The referee had his own thing, getting that decision wrong from all angles. One that could have favored Asante Kotoko, one that could have gone against Asante Kotoko. Ubeka said red card. Imagine a young team playing without one man. Look at the damage and Kebitimi causing the advantage for Asante Kotoko ewoho. And we are back on. And what a penalty without a red card. So we leave it to the referees appointment committee on what they will do and the match review panel on what they will do. Normally penalties are not line for the page. And the question is, was the line convinced that the incident happened in the penalty box or happened outside the penalty box? For the obstruction of the player there, nobody can tell me that the goalkeeper did not obstruct the player. He obstructed the movement of Dauda Saka, and that makes it a foul. And again, he's the last man. Again, an obvious goal scoring opportunity. Into Shaha no Shaha. Whilst you try to make a case so there be born in your penalty, no, look at the red card aspect of it all. Obeka Senka defender never cover. But defender, no, he's not even leading the Kotoko player. Meaning if there's no obstruction, the Kotoko player is more likely to get to the ball than the defenders are running from a distance. And almost running a free cover. So that is the conversation. I think, officiating there, but on this occasion, if it wasn't a penalty, which clearly on the line, especially this one, the one that was captured from a Globe TV, it clearly showed the incident was outside the penalty box, then it should have been a red card to the goalkeeper. And a red card can also change the dynamics of the game. Into the proper interpretation of this scene, a red card and a free kick to Asante Kotoko. So referee bedma red card. No what free kick kama Asante Kotoko. But that was not what the referee here. He decided to award a penalty. All in all, good game for Kotoko because we are talking about a Kotoko team without Asare, without Kamara, without Samba, without Blay, without Team Menu, one of the informed players of Asante Kotoko this season, without Peter Aqua. That's what I say. And without Albert Amwa. It shows you the number of players are Oman started and I say Oman pre Oman cut team no craft for Asante Kotoko. So good exercise, but still there are certain improvement pointer. Bejidi say Coach Ogumbe working on it, especially how the team is now creating a lot of chances but missing a lot of chances. I think it's a very worry to Coach Ogumbe. Until we meet again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Bye bye.